All right. There we go. Get that volume going. It is Thursday. Happy Thursday, everyone. I'm Palm Beach's Paul, your host of Pints with Paul, and welcome back to another live stream on my YouTube channel. And it's been a good day. It's a good day. Turn the music down. I know last time it was up a little loud. Have fun playing with this music. I saw one of our other friends today mess around with it on a live stream. So anyway, welcome back. So I have another guest for us this week. I've been having a lot of fun talking to other realtors who are doing YouTube and making content like I've been doing. So you're seeing me bring some people to the show that are fellow realtors in other parts of the country. Last week we had my friend Mike up in North Carolina, and I've been a guest on other people's YouTube channels. It's kind of fun just to talk to the other realtors, see how they're using social media to build their business, and then also talk about their market. And obviously, if you're looking to do any real estate, whether it's here or maybe in that part of the country, then I'm bringing, a good realtor to you that you could reach out to. So it's a good way to kind of learn about other realtors around the country and also how social media is working with our business. So really excited about tonight's guest. So tonight's guest is a gentleman who I fondly named Mr. Orlando. And this guy is killing it on YouTube. So presently, he has about 25,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel, and his live streams, much bigger than mine. His live streams get literally hundreds, almost 1,000 people watching when he does this, and he gets people from all over the world, which is amazing. Which kind of makes sense because he's in that Orlando market, and they do get a lot of people from all over. It is the happiest place on earth, so he gets a lot of people who are reaching out there. But his team is absolutely crushing it. I'll check this fact with them, but I believe they said that they already have under contract 100 homes already, just now in this year. So they're just blowing things up. So without further ado, let me go bring our guest in from the virtual green room, and boom.
What's going on, man?
Welcome, Ken.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, let me get this music turned down. So on the show, Pints with Paul, I like to have a little fun. I don't know if you got a cold one, but cheers to you, brother.
I need to go run and get one. I totally forgot to bring one with me.
It's all right. I've been doing a lot of Florida beers. This one's where's the camera at? Right there. So this hazy IPA 66 from Palm Coast, Florida. So, but it supports the locals, and it actually helps take the nerves off me a little bit. So
that's even better, man. I like this. This is so good.
Welcome, man. So it's no lie. I've been as are a lot of our friends, huge fan of yours for a while since I found you through the group of Facebook friends and all that we have. By the way, Ken's also a fellow agent with Keller Williams.
That's right.
The Orlando groups has got his contact information down below, and he's with the Pozek group. I've been a huge fan of yours for a while. Watching all your YouTube stuff. I like the style because I kind of sort of try to do that same sort of outside vlogging, showing what it's like to live in Palm Beach County style. Yeah. So I immediately saw yours and said, "Oh, I like this. It's not a talking head type video." So, but it's exciting, and so what I've been doing is lately I've been bringing on other realtors, our friends who are doing the same thing. Like I had Mike Corbett, who's like killing it right now. He switched over to TikTok and he's blowing up.
Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, it's a cool world, right? With all of us as creators, but I think the even cooler thing is that we're definitely changing our industry, where it's like used to always be very like, look at me, look what I can do. I'm a great agent. I'm look at my awards, blah 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 blah. And then all of a sudden it changed to, let me just try to give you as much useful content as possible, useful information if you're looking to move to Palm Beaches or Orlando or wherever it might be. And so I think we're changing the industry, which is a lot of fun. And I think it's cool what you're doing, man.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah. It's funny. I tell my story when people ask, when I get interviewed for podcasts and whatnot, I'll talk about, how I got into it. And for me, I just didn't want to door knock anymore, right? I've been in the business for about 4 years. I didn't want to do the cold calls. I certainly didn't want to throw my money at these companies that are promising these great leads to us.
Yeah.
And so I just grabbed a camera and I said, okay, let's just start showing what it's like to live here. We live in this beautiful state of Florida, right? So we got these palm trees and the beaches. So I just went to the parks where my wife and I took our kids when they were little. Yeah. And I was like, hey, this is a great park. If you like the outdoors and you want to come here, this is only. And then I started to say, okay, well, maybe we'll show this neighborhood and we'll drive through and say, you can buy a house in here for like 350,000. And then you can literally ride your bike to this park. And it started to click.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of grew from there. And now it's like, you know, even during this time of craziness, I have people still calling me with business. So it's been a neat thing. It's a fun ride, that's for sure.
Yeah, it really is, man. And it's a craft that you never really perfect. You know, it's just you're constantly trying to get better and trying to provide more value and trying to, you know, keep people's attention for longer and, you know, affect a bigger audience. And so I think that's another reason why I love it so much. It's just like, you know, I get to show off stuff I already love, like you mentioned, like with your family, checking out the park and here's what you can buy, right? You can just be kind of like the online mayor, you know, and just kind of just be a big fan of who you are. And it's way better than cold calling and trying to, you know, bug people on, you know, they don't want to really hear from you anyways. Right. So big difference.
Yeah. So, kind of going back, I was just looking at your bio and stuff. So you've been doing this for a while. It looks like, so for the audience here, Ken's originally from Michigan. So I'm sure you're not missing winters anymore.
Not at all.
And you've been in the business for a while. So you were back there kind of doing investing and stuff back in 2003.
Yep.
You went through the bust that everyone went through, the Great Recession. And then you moved your family down here to Orlando. What was the reason for the move? What got you to move to just?
Well, I hate Mickey so much. I mean, you know, yeah. No, it was like we were really like coming down here all the time. We were going in between Naples and Orlando. We're just kind of constantly trying to escape the snow, like so many people. And we came down and we're just like, what if we bought a second home here in like 2016? Like our business was doing really well in Michigan and I was a real estate agent there. And I was just like, you know what, like we'll buy a second home. We'll be able to escape the winters like so many people do. And so we put a deposit down on a townhome. And then by the end of that trip, my wife and I looked at each other and like, why are we like half doing this? Why don't we go all in and just make Florida home? And if we were going to do that, would it still be Orlando? We made the decision that, yeah, it would be. So better weather, no state income tax, you know, at the time, cost of living was significantly less. Now it's really caught up to a lot of other places, but quality of life for us was really the big driver. And then, you know, yeah, it's been a fun ride since then.
Nice. So did you immediately get in when you moved down here? Were you doing videos and real estate at that time? Or had you already been messing with video, or was this kind of like a lot of you just said, hey, this is something, let's try this avenue?
Yeah, I had started doing like business, like local business interviews, but like as you know, like you can do a local business interview and nobody watches. You know, it's good for you. It might be good for people that already know you, but you're not going to like get a mass following. I was doing that in Michigan, and it was really not any kind of success. But when I came down here, a friend of mine said, "Hey, maybe you should try like model home tours, or you should try, you know, these other things." And so I just got my cell phone and I started showing off all the different models around town. And then eventually I figured out that if I could shoot content that people actually were searching for, you know, if they're like moving to Orlando or top 5 neighborhoods in Orlando or best builders in Orlando, then like I can actually get found and then I can actually impact more people. And so that's how we pivoted that way about 3 years ago. And it's been pretty cool ever since.
Yeah. So I was going through my catalog of videos, going back and looking at some stuff. And I found one that I did where I did it for a pizza place. And I remember I had a camera guy and I thought, oh yeah, this is going to be it, man. It's cool. Do a pizza video. And like, nobody really watched it. It was okay on Facebook. It got some views and local, but I mean, like YouTube's like, there's no one searching for, I'm not going to say the name, even though the guy makes good pizza, but I'll throw it out there. Danny's Pizza.
Yeah. The amount of people searching for Danny's Pizza on YouTube.
Out of New York or Ontario. Yeah. They're just
yeah.
So it makes sense. So once I started to do, and then through our mutual friends, once I started to realize, you know, things like you said, pros and cons. My pros and cons are what really took my channel to the next level. That's when I started to get a taste of YouTube and watch my channel grow. And then I started getting people to reach out to me. And then I started to do the other content. And then now, you know, I kind of look at that and I look, okay, now I see what people want to watch. So you kind of get a feel for what they want. Every once in a while, I'll still throw in a video I think is kind of fun, just for the heck of it. But like, I know you and I talk kind of weekly and you gave me an idea and I was working on that video. So I'm excited about putting one of the videos out, which we'll talk about some of the stuff that's going on in our markets. Awesome. But yeah, it's cool. And then it just kind of grows. And then, you know, and then the side to that, the thing that I didn't see happening, but did, was all the cool friends I've made through it. So, you know, just some really neat people that I've met, man. It's
it's a cool community, man. Like the creator community is different than any other. Like I've been part of the Mike Ferry organization. For those of you that are not watching, that's like the people that cold call like crazy. And I've been a part of like, all of these other different communities, but the creator community has been my favorite so far.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw on a few people here. We've got some people that are kindly watching, and so we got Rebecca. Hey, Rebecca. She says,
"What's up, Rebecca?"
We got your buddy here. We've got Chris
Kogan.
Hey, what's up?
Good Holding stuff. It down in the VA.
Nice. And it's my buddy Sam. Sam's like from when I first got into the group with Karen Carr. So,
so cool.
Nice, man. What's going on? So that guy has a fun video. He's a fellow beer guy. We used to talk about beer all the time. So so let's talk a little bit. You know what? Let me go jump into. So I'm going to jump into one of your videos real quick.
Cool.
So what I'm going to do here is show probably one of Ken's most popular videos. It's really cool. I know I've watched it a few times. So have I think about 1 million other people on YouTube now. So now, Ken, I don't have the dual monitor, so this is always fun when I switch screens. I'm like, hold on, where's it at? Up to it. So hold on one second. But that video, just real quick, you've had 1 million views on it now.
Yeah, man, it's kind of a wild ride, that's for sure on that one.
Did it bring you? Did it bring leads? Did it get more people just curious, or did you get real people like, hey, I saw your video?
Yeah, it was a little bit of everything, a little bit of both. It was I had one of the former Lakers called me, and he bought a house with us here locally. It wasn't for $16 million, but it was still a very healthy price. And had a bunch of other ones in like the under $1 million mark that called us. And then I had everything from that. And I had some little kid from like Cleveland was calling me daily for a month to ask me if I knew Shaq and if I could make an introduction. And so a little bit of everything.
I heard that story. That's pretty good. All right, let me get into this real quick. Let me go to screen share, and I got it queued up. The screen share. I know I need to get a second monitor. This will make life a whole lot easier for me.
You're good.
When I do, okay, share, and let's go to this. All right, here we go.
But this is his crib, and we're going to take you inside. Stay tuned.
In the 1992 NBA draft, the Orlando Magic selects Shaquille O'Neal.
Nice tunes.
Yeah, man. I was kind of surprised that YouTube didn't demonetize me for that, to be honest with you.
Here we are, the big man's house, the Diesel, his house here in Iowa. Today we're checking out this place with the listing agent, Tiffany Pandozzi. She's the exclusive listing agent, and she's going to walk us through. So let's go take a look. What's up, Tiffany?
What's up? Welcome to Shaq's house.
I appreciate you having me out.
Absolutely. We are here at 9927 Giffen Court, and there's a lot of house to see. You ready?
I'm excited. Let's
check it out.
Fame and fortune and fame. Walking down the street, brother.
Nice drum shots.
Dude, such a good location on that house.
That place is huge.
That is what you are paying
30,000 square feet, man.
700 feet of lakefront on the Butler chain of lakes with western-facing exposure.
We talked on the way over here. There's a couple different lots on the Butler chain, but nothing
gets back out of this. So get back to nice, man. That's so. What did it actually sell for? Do you remember?
$11 million. So it was listed at let's see, it was 28 million, then 23 million, then 16 million, and then sold for 11 million. So, and everybody would call me and ask me like, hey, where do you think it'll eventually sell? I had a few like news organizations reach out. What do I think it'll eventually sell for? And I kept telling them between 10 and 12 million. So nailed it right at the 11.
Wow.
It's huge, but it needed like millions of dollars in rehab. I mean, 30,000 square feet, someone's going to be in there fixing it for a long time.
Yeah, that's definitely happens. We've kind of seen that. Well, you can see that in this market right now too, with the price points on some of the homes. It's like, wow, I went into one the other day and it was like 1.2, and I'm like going, this thing needs a ton of work.
What is this market?
Yeah, a little bit crazy. So, well, let's all right. So let's talk about that. So the YouTube has worked. It's a proven formula. If you work it, it's working for me. It's working for our friends. It's definitely working for you. Is it the main? Like, is that your main source? Do you do any cold calling? Do you do flyers? Do you do door knocking? Or why don't you tell us a little bit about the process of the Pozek team and how you guys are using social media?
Yeah, it's YouTube is definitely something that we pivot everything else off of. So whether, yeah, we get a bunch of people that reach out to us directly, but then we also do a really healthy amount of agent referral business. People from all over the world refer our team, people that they know. Our database is really driven off of this as well. And so people that just know, like, and trust us, we can kind of stay in communication with them via our YouTube channel, and we send that out, in our weekly newsletter as well. And so that's, I would say, over 40% of our business comes from YouTube in one way or the other. And we're currently at we just broke 90 million for the year, and it's so we're cranking, man. It's been good.
Ding ding! If I need a bell or a horn or something, man. Ding ding ding! Nice. That is awesome. So you have a team. How big is your team that you have now?
Yeah, so we're now 22 people. So it's 14 agents. I'm included in that. We've got transaction coordinators, a couple marketing people, 2 ISAs, inside sales people that help and make sure that the client experience is as high as possible, and then our videographer. And so it's quite large. And that was on purpose. We've got 400 to 500 people reaching out to us every month, and it was like, how do we build something where we can create a good client experience where, I can't handle 400 or 500 clients a month. So I have to build out a sales team and an inside sales team and make sure that they're getting this great experience throughout the whole process. And so we hired some people from Disney and some people, that really specialize in customer service. And it's been just such an amazing thing to do and to build. It's all very new to me on that side. But it'll be fun to see where it goes.
But it's a well-oiled machine. So, it seems like it's really working well for you because, your numbers are just right. They don't lie. And from what I've heard, like people say, it's really a good process. And obviously your reviews and all that, people love the way you handle them. And that's real important in this business. People get a bad realtor and it's easy for them to be like, realtors this way, but
yeah,
do it right and stuff. So
it's a big process, man. And then trying to it's interesting because, like, I feel like a single agent that does everything themselves knows everything backwards and forwards. They're giving great service a lot of times, and then there's going to become a breaking point where they're just not good at everything, and so you have to figure out, okay, what is it that I am good at, and then leverage out everything else. And so that's kind of where we're constantly just figuring out what is our highest and best use from there.
When I hired a transaction coordinator, it was the best thing I ever did.
Oh, I can imagine.
I love my she's so good. She is so good. And I was so happy I found her. Matter of fact, they liked her so much. I think she got interviewed by my center. They said, hey, maybe she can do work for some of the other agents here too, because they were so impressed with the work she was doing. And I remember I said, don't forget who found you first.
Exactly. Don't
don't worry. And she says I'm one of her favorite agents because I do my paperwork is so clean. Like I'm
nice.
So, just crazy about my paperwork and stuff, but I'm not good with all the other stuff. So I'm glad I hired someone out like that. And eventually as I grow, maybe if it starts building up more and more, I'm definitely getting more leads. The caliber of my leads are getting bigger and bigger. That at some point, maybe I will have to hand it off or bring on another, member and stuff. But for right now, well, one of the things that I've been watching, as I said, I've been watching you for a while. And one of the things that I, doing just like I'm doing right now is the live stream. So I watched it, a lot of people. I saw your live stream, and I said, yeah, that looks like a good way to reach out to people.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm doing a little bit of different mine. I'm kind of having some other realtors on and sharing some information and stuff. But next week I have a mortgage person coming on. So I try to bring people in. I tried to do it where I just talk. By the way, I all the props to you because I don't know how you sit there. You have this, you have it down, and you have so much good information. But to sit there and talk to someone, because I sat there and I go, okay, what do we talk about now? And I was like, well, I guess we can end the live stream now because I don't have any more ideas.
Yeah, that was a good 3 minutes. Great. All right.
Yeah. So it helps when people ask questions, but when they don't, you're like, okay. And then it's that dead air. And you said, all right, well, you want to run. So,
yeah. It's definitely a tough balancing act. And when I first did it, I didn't think anybody would show up. And so I was just like, I had so much, like I've got a dual screen here and I have so much information that I could probably talk without taking a question for an hour. Not that anybody wants to hear me talk straight for an hour, but then all of a sudden I logged on for the first time, go live, and there were like dozens of people. And I was like, this is cool. And so we've been doing it now for 14 months or something like that. And I do it every other week. And now, yeah, we get 2 to 250 people show up live to just talk about Orlando, which is like, man, what a cool thing.
Well, there's a lot going on there, which is exciting. And one of the things I was going to talk to you about, like our markets, and because we're only 2 hours away, but there's definitely a lot going on in Central Florida. One of the biggest things I think, which is really cool in connecting us, is the Brightline. Which is the fact that it's already cool here in South Florida, and the fact that they did a test run up to Cocoa Beach, and then it's going to shoot across to Orlando. Eventually, I assume it's going to go all the way to Tampa, right?
It is, yeah. So it's going to go up and around, so up to Cocoa, over to Orlando International Airport, over to Disney. They're going to stop in Disney Springs, which much to like Universal's chagrin, I'm sure. But Disney Springs, and then it'll shoot down the I-4 to Tampa, and then I think it's got one more stop after that. So that's going to be great. Let me ask you this: do people actually use it where you're at?
Yeah, there's definitely people using it. I know my wife and I went to the South Beach Wine and Seafood Festival a couple years ago, and it was fantastic. Just hop on that, go down there, get an Uber ride home. It's great, and the people are definitely using it. And it's not that expensive. And I think like even the first times, buy one get one free. They do a lot of promos, and now they got the service where if you're short like 5 miles away, the Brightline car will pick you up or something like that. So if you're within the area, yeah, there's a car service that they have, I think, down here. So you can get a car ride to it, and it's really cool because I mean, traffic to Miami it's horrible.
Yeah,
I know you've been down there a few times, and so you're going down there. So when you can take that and get all the way down to Miami in, I don't know, about maybe 45 minutes to an hour, whatever it takes to get there. It's not too long. It just depends. And then hop off and, get an Uber and go to the rest of Miami and explore, which I know I want to take my wife. She gets Fridays off. So we want to go down there, and we were going to go do a food tour in Little Havana. And I was going to do a vlog about it and be like, I like to do these like little thing called day trips, which are like an hour away from West Palm Beach, little places you can go to explore South Florida. It's only like an hour away.
Yeah.
So we're going to go down there, and I said, let's hop on the Brightline. We'll just pop down there, and then we'll, get an Uber and go over to Little Havana and whatever. And
it's brilliant. Yeah, I think it's smart, man.
So
I hope people use it. I mean, like that's the big thing Florida has against it, is that we don't have a really great, transportation system set up. And so especially in Orlando, it's so car driven. If you don't have a car, they have this Sunrail. There you go. But like they have, it's only open from like 8 to 5 or something like that. I'm like, how could somebody even get to work and then get off and then get back on and then make it where they need to be? It's like, so they need to expand the hours. And I hope the Brightline, changes that here.
Yeah, and they have like the tri-rail here, but the tri-rail for us is like on the west. A lot of it's on the west side of I-95. So if you work in a downtown area, you still have to get on a bike or something to go far away. The Brightline kind of runs, although the Brightline only stops though in like Fort Lauderdale. It's going to stop in Boca, which is good. They're now going to have a Boca coming up in the fall, which was really interesting because you tie that into. I had a client from Toronto watch my video, and he's thinking that he wants to live in Boca, but he might work in Miami. I said, well, the Brightline's going to be building a station. It's going to be open this fall in Boca. And he goes, okay, let's look in Boca.
Nice.
So it's kind of cool. So
slam dunk.
Yeah, right. And which is fun about our what we do, because we're providing that information to people about what's going on in our city. Like, you and I don't just go show homes. Anyone's going to like, okay, here's a home. That's great, but I got a kid that likes to play t-ball, or I like to, whatever it is, go out and show them. So you got to show them the community. And so that's what I've been having fun doing. And there's a lot of watching your channel. I see that there's so much. I mean, I know you like Disney and all that, but beyond that, you have so many cool things coming there. So what are some of your favorite, like, what are some of the really exciting type of businesses or things that are moving to the Orlando area?
Well, yeah, I mean, Disney's relocating 2,000 people here just for work, and it's interesting to see that ripple effect of all of the other companies coming because of it. So, thankfully, we're diversifying our workforce, which is something that Orlando's needed forever. So you have a lot more more tech-focused, healthcare-focused kind of companies coming here, which is great. And sort of, I think Disney just being willing to invest so much money into the area and the people capital in the area has really pushed a lot of people over. So I think that's cool. You got the whole Lake Nona area because of it. That's where their headquarters is going to be, which is like 30 minutes from the parks. It's not close to Disney, like where their actual headquarters is going to be. Probably because they don't want all like the Disney nuts showing up and knocking on the door. But but yeah, so that's cool. The downtown area is getting a whole like revitalization. They're doing the new Orlando Magic entertainment district. So it's not just the actual Amway Center anymore. They're going to be building a ton of like outdoor space. They're doing like an $800 million outdoor space. And so like they're going to do concert series out there, and there's a whole bunch of stuff coming along. So it's pretty cool to see.
Okay, there you go. Rebecca says Orlando needs more public transportation for sure.
Yeah,
especially close to the convention center.
Yeah.
So
Rebecca was here for the for family reunion for Keller Williams, and I feel bad for anybody that you got to get an Uber. It's Uber or walk. Those are your options.
Yeah, my oldest he lives out in Lake Mary. So
I love Lake Mary.
Yeah, so he's out there, and so I know we'll be probably. I don't know. We'll see what happens with the market, but I know we've talked about in a year or so start to look for his first place. So find a good condo somewhere, but he loves it up there. He has no intention of ever coming back to South Florida. He told me he loves it up there. So
Lake Mary. I just did a video on that neighborhood or that whole area. I mean, they've got like Deloitte's out there, AAA, Morgan Stanley. They've got a bunch of just it's kind of a sleeper city. Like you wouldn't realize that there's so many like good high paying jobs there. You've got a bunch of like gated communities that are just really high end. It's a bedroom community for the most part, but it's definitely a cool spot.
Awesome. By the way, I want to give a shout out to your videographer, because man, he's just like, he's your D-Rock. That guy is he is, or I don't know. I guess it's a guy. I heard him talk, so he is so good.
Yeah, he's really good, man. So I gotta keep him close. Everybody keeps trying to poach him from me. So, but no, he's so good at what he does, and he's just got a keen eye, and we work well together. That's the chemistry between a videographer and the on-air person is I didn't realize how big of a deal it would be. But he knows like my mannerisms, and I'll be like, what am I trying to say? You've heard me say X, Y, and Z before, and he'll be like, oh, you're trying to blah blah blah, right? And so we definitely we gel well together.
I think one of my favorite things you guys do is you'll do the thing where you're sort of filming, but you're not filming. Like,
right.
The camera's on, but you're like, right. And then you'll like, and then, okay, so today we're out, it's like you're fixing your glasses or doing something. Just like, the shoes look good.
Yeah.
Don't make your comment in the background.
Trying to make it feel a little bit more, like a little bit more relatable. It's not all, I think that's the worst thing you could ever do on YouTube, in my opinion, is make it too planned out, to make it seem like you scripted everything. People want authentic, especially in today's age.
Yeah, for sure. I was doing my video and I went back and I was watching the edit today because I was doing a lot of I was reading about the development. So I was reading a lot of details and I had to memorize them and go back and then stop. And I can definitely tell that part of it versus the part where I'm such an ad lib. Like I don't have a screen. I don't jot notes. I may have a few bullet points, and I'm just out there today and I'll be like, oh, okay, that's even. I even said, oh, it's not 8.2. They start at 9.2. Okay, I was $1 million off. I need to correct that. but
little numbers like that.
Yeah,
but that's people like that.
Yeah, sure. That guy Paul said it was 8.2, but it's sold out anyway, so whatever. But yeah, I enjoy just going out there and kind of. It's just more natural, and like you said, and I think that's what people want. They see you and you're delivering the information and stuff, but you're having fun with it and not coming off like the news brought, guy reading the script like this.
Exactly. Exactly. There's enough of those people.
So West Palm, talking about markets, I always like to kind of, talk a little bit about what's happening in the markets. How are things with, Orlando? I mean, obviously, this market of low inventory, crazy prices. I'm sure it's no different. I do see a lot of development from your videos up there, a lot more than we have here, but you also have more land than we have.
Yeah, we still have land for days here. So if developers could get the supply chain and the labor shortage figured out, we'd be doing okay. But right now, unfortunately, we're still massively underbuilt. And so, some people would argue against that. But when I look at how many people have moved here, I mean, there's 1,500 people moving to Central Florida every week. So it's like, come on, it's wild.
Yeah. Well, I agree with videographers. My videographers are getting close in that way too. It's neat to see the progress. Yeah. So I've only had the only time I've used a videographer was on that one big house that I did. That's the first time. So I'll probably try that again. But for the most part, it's me. out there. And I don't know, it's funny finding video in my late 50s. It's so enjoyable for me that I like doing it. Like I like setting the camera up and doing the stuff. I know at some point I probably need to get somebody to do it, but it's just going out there, and then the people are like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm making a video. Oh, what do you do? I'm a realtor. And then it's like, oh, cool. They start asking questions.
Good. Yeah, it's a good segue there.
Yeah. So, hey, fellas, I'm up in the Northeast. I've been thinking about moving, making South Florida change in a couple years. Paul, great channel. I've been watching about a year now. Crazy markets. What's coming next? Yeah. Thanks, Greg. I really appreciate it. What is coming next? I don't know. That is the magic question that we all get asked. I mean, I break in the simplest form. When I look at that question and people always ask me what's happening, we have all these people wanting to move from the Northeast in California and Michigan to Florida. And we have this many homes. There's just, and you can't magically make more homes. It's like, like Ken just said, we're having this discussion in my office today too, new construction. Well, they can only build so many homes, and they're having a hard time finding laborers, and they're having a hard time getting, they're not even offering pools anymore with their construction because the pools take longer than the house to build, and they can't get the contractor. So you have to do your pool after the fact. So you have that, and then every home is like, it's like a bidding war. So I really don't know what the answer is going to be, because I just don't see where we're going to get more inventory.
Yeah, I mean, interest rates are already high, or not high. They're still crazy low historically, but they're going up, right? I mean, the Fed raised the rate a quarter point. I think we're hovering, depending on the loan type you're looking at, 4.25 to 4.5. Maybe that starts to take people out of the market, but really, I don't know that I haven't seen it slow down yet. Even over the past week, I feel like people are still jumping in. So I feel like we still have a good year for a run up, even if they raise the interest rates a full point. I think we have a good year of a run up, and then maybe they ease it back, depending on if they can get inflation under control. I think that's the big unknown with so much of this. That, I mean, inflation's so much. Real estate is part of that inflationary number when you look at how expensive things are getting. But I think the demand is there for at least the next year.
Well, so I had a property go on the market this past weekend, and and you'll remember this because you've been in the business longer than I have, but I can remember when we would put a house on the market and days would go by, weeks before you had an offer. You were like, man, I'm showing it. And now you get an offer within the first 7 hours. It's like, well, we're having an open house and we're going to hold off till we get all the offers by Sunday. It's like getting an offer in the first 7 hours a couple years ago, you would have been doing backflips. I mean,
let's get that one offer. Let's go,
Yeah, it's like, I'm a beast. Don't look at me. So, and now it's like, but it's just, that's kind of what our market has done. So I know in our market down here, the median price is around $535 for a single family home.
Yeah, that's higher than here. I think here it's still high fours.
Is it? Mm-hmm. And then I think we're sitting at 1.1 months worth of inventory.
Yeah, we're at about 2 weeks of inventory here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So it's crazy market. And like you said, I think the conversation we had a meeting today at the office, and they said the same thing. We'll probably be like this for at least another year. So I tell people to tighten their belt, have extra cash if you have it, or I hate to tell people to wait it out, but you got to do whatever you got to do to be comfortable. I never want someone to make a decision they're not uncomfortable with. But
I mean, but the same, I think. You think about the value of waiting, or the cost of waiting, is what I always tell people. It's like, okay, so you're going to keep renting. Cool. So how much does that cost you a month? It's $2,500. Okay, great. So that's $30,000 a year that you're just washing down the drain. Conversely, if you locked in at today's prices, and then, instead of waiting for it to go up $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, it could legitimately cost you $40,000 to $70,000 in our average price point here by waiting a year. So you might have to go a little bit, over asking, or you may need to waive an appraisal, but it's going to be worth it.
Yeah. That's definitely what people were saying, I guess. And if they don't have it, I mean, you just, for the buyers that don't have the extra money to either waive the appraisal or come out of pocket, I guess it's just not a whole lot they can do.
Yeah, exactly right.
So it's kind of tough, because even condos are getting a little bit difficult.
Snapped up. Yep.
Yeah, the condos are selling real quick, which is going to be interesting to see. Down here, it's a little different, though. We have. I mean, well, they're moving, but we had the whole incident that happened down at Surfside in Miami. So I know that Freddie Mac and that's kind of causing a little issue with financing of condos.
Sure.
So, and a lot of the properties are going through now assessments and stuff. So it's really more important than ever that when you're looking at those condos that you're like, hey, are there any assessments coming up? And because they can be pretty steep depending on what the assessment might be for them. So, but all right. Well, looks like we had no more questions. So you got anything you want to talk a little bit about, promote anything about anything coming up with you and your
No, man, let's talk about you and your market. So what are you looking at in terms of like your spot? Where do you feel like the majority of your buyers are coming from right now?
Almost everyone from the Northeast, and this year it's been funny enough, the Canadians have been reaching out to me. So I'm
a lot of Canadians.
Yeah,
a lot of Canadians coming to Florida. That's interesting, man. Anybody from like the UK? Do you guys get UK people come over?
No, I only showed some people from UK one time, and I think it was more of they were bored on vacation, and I did that mistake as a young agent. This was a couple years ago, and I took them around and showed them, and then I never heard back from them. But no, nothing like that. I haven't seen too many out of state buyer or out of country buyers other than Canada, and I've had a couple from California. What I'm seeing happen here, what's going on is there's the county's putting a lot of building and a lot of money into luxury. And what I mean is that like the Mandarin, they have one down in Miami, right? The Mandarin Hotel.
Yeah.
They're opening up one in Boca, and there's only two in the state of Florida. One's in Miami, and now they're doing that.
They've got that gorgeous one up in New York.
Yeah, there's like 7 in the country. So they don't put projects like that unless they really know that the clientele are going to be coming here. Sure. And it's not just that. They're doing the Boca Raton Resort, spent something like, I forgot how many millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars on redesigning that whole place. And they're going to be calling it the Boca. Which, so they're doing that. But then, you and I talked about this a while back, West Palm Beach, we called it the new Wall Street. And so the video I went and I talked about this week was about the new luxury condos. So on Flagler Drive, there's 3 condo buildings, and all the condos in there were, hundreds of thousands, probably maybe $1 million, maybe $2 million for some of the nicer ones up there.
Yep.
But these buildings, and one of them just sold out. First they had the Bristol, and it sold out, and it was selling penthouses for $43 million.
What?
And then you have La Clara and Forte, and those condos were starting at like, and I talked to the developers rep there. I think she said they're almost like 80% sold out or something. And they're starting at 9.2. The average price for one of the condos is 15 point something, like 15.8 or something. And then they had one in there for like 26 million. And people are buying these condos up left and right. So what I'm seeing is that Palm Beach, where traditionally Palm Beach was on the other side of the bridge. You had West Palm Beach and you had Palm Beach, and that's where all the wealth was. That wealth is all starting to come over, because even in one of the neighborhoods where my wife and I used to live, a place called Grandview Heights, I went back and I did a video of that neighborhood. I was making a video for a project I was working on. And when I was talking to one of the guys there, he's a developer, and he owns a lot of the properties there, and he's a contractor. And he says, well, where you used to live, that's an artist, and she's buying it for her kids, and they're from Palm Beach. And then this one over here, and all the cars in the neighborhood were like Porsche and Mercedes. It totally changed.
Wow.
So we're seeing a lot of that. And then you've got Goldman Sachs, like you and I talked about, right? They come down, they're down here. But even on the rental side, there's a whole project that's being built on Flagler that's 27-story buildings. And they're going to have an infinity edge pool and a private beach and semi-private boat dock right on the water. And those are all luxury rentals. So, I mean, so they're building that, and not to mention all these other projects around. I was researching it last night for the video. All these projects, and it's all high end.
Yeah.
So the only thing you look at that is like, okay, they must be doing this obviously because it's the wealth of people from the Northeast, and so they're coming here, and either they're coming here to vacation more and spend their money here, or they're also coming down here to live.
Yeah. And those guys, those aren't going to drop hundreds of millions of dollars on developments, and if they're not very well thought out in terms of their demographics and who's coming and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, you got some of the crazies out there that build things like, did you follow the story of like the One?
The One?
Yeah, it was like supposed to be the biggest, most expensive house in America over in California. This guy spent like, I don't know, a couple $100 million on a house or something like that with the landscaping and all the other stuff. And then it just sold at auction for like 120 million. Still huge numbers.
Okay. I think I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah. But so you think all the developers are pretty well thought out, but that one wasn't. But for the most part, they usually get it right. And so, yeah, you're right. If they're spending that kind of money, man, you know something big is coming.
Yeah. And then I was kind of looking, I don't want to switch to it because I'll lose the screen, but I was looking at the business development board, and there are some businesses opening up here. So there are some tech jobs coming. There's a couple finance companies coming down here. So we're seeing a lot of those people move here. South Florida has never really been huge on tech. It has some, but it's not as much as like Orlando. So I hope it does visit, to bring those higher paying, salaries to the area and stuff as opposed to the hospitality business.
Yep.
But yeah, it's exciting. I mean, it's and there's no inventory, so we'll see what happens. But I don't know. Well, hopefully that will work out. But they're definitely, investing a lot in the development and stuff. So because I was blown away when I just looked at the condos and I couldn't believe it. And then they're also building a brand new office tower right in the downtown area with a really nice restaurant and all that. So they're, like you said, they're putting money into downtown West Palm Beach like I've never seen before. So it's pretty exciting.
That is exciting.
And it's funny because when I started looking at that, I knew watching your channel that I go, man, there's so much going on up there. Like every time Ken's talking about something new, there's a new project, there's a new place.
Yeah.
So I started to dig, like you said. I said, okay, so do a little more research, and all of a sudden I came up with like 5 video ideas. Thanks, man. So
you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. I was gonna say, there's a lot of I use a program called the Dodge Report. It's not cheap. It's a couple $1,000s a year, but they dig in and they look at all of the permitting and what's coming in before anybody else will know about it. And so I've been able to scoop. I don't know if you have like a business journal down there, like
South Florida Business Journal.
Yeah, there you go. So I've been able to scoop our local business journal on so many stories now, and like I'll post about it, and then like 3 days later they're posting about it, and I'm like, so yeah, they're trying to keep in front of them,
There you go. Yeah, so it's exciting, man. It's the channel's growing. It's as I said in the beginning, I appreciate you a lot because you've really been awesome, and you're giving me ideas and giving me stuff. So, and that I appreciate that.
Oh, anytime, man.
Yeah, it's good stuff, and it's that community that we're working with. But the channel's growing. It's getting up there. It's I'm like the little engine that could. So I'm like, I've been watching like you and Brad, and I knew Brad when he started. And like Brad's at 20-something thousand, and a lot of our friends and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm almost to 4,000. I'm almost to 4,000 stuff. But
yeah, man.
But as you said, and everyone has said before, and people said to me, Paul, are you getting leads? Yeah, I'm getting business. So
yeah,
people
see value in what you're doing, man. So you got to keep it up.
Yeah. So, well, listen, brother, that's I know you're a busy guy, and unless you got anything, I don't want to make you hang on any hours. I've kind of ran out of.
You're good, man. You're good. I appreciate I appreciate the opportunity as always, man. We'll definitely keep you in mind for referrals down that way. We will.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if you guys need to reach out to Ken, you got his contact number right there. I was trying to pull up your email. I didn't have your email on there. So, but
that's all good. That'll go to our concierge right there. That number you got down
that's
the
what I figured. I took it off your website, by the way, nice website. So I knew you'd want that to go and they can screen it. So,
perfect.
So yeah, if you guys are looking to, move into the happiest place on earth and want to live in the magic kingdom of Orlando, which is working on public transportation as they speak, right?
As they speak, that's right.
Work on it. And then you reach out to this guy. He can definitely help you find a place. His team, Ken, brother, appreciate it, man. Cheers.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it. Looking forward to good things. And we will talk to you a little bit later. And for everyone else, I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for tuning in. Next week, we do have a mortgage broker coming on. So we'll get back to questions about what we can do to help you with a mortgage, and hopefully find ways to beat out those mean old cash buyers for all those bids. And we'll talk more about what it's like living here in South Florida. That's it. Thanks to our people who came on, or questions. Greg Nelson, thank you very much. Thumbs up. Gonna appreciate you guys. And as always, when you're in the Palm Beaches, get out and enjoy paradise. I'll talk to you next week.